Hey guys, got a new video today, and I want to take a look at the Ruger Wrangler and what I think about it so far. Great little pistol coming out from Ruger, and I think they've done a great job pushing this guy out. Initially, I just wanted to get a cheap 22, single action cowboy style revolver. Basically for no other reason than I just wanted a single action style pistol, and 22 long rifles, it's a cheap pistol to buy and it's cheap to shoot. So I had been looking at the Heritage Arms Rough Rider, because that's one of the main competitors for this, and I was like, alright, I'm going to buy one of those. And then I was in the gun store and actually saw these, and I was like, wow, I didn't even see those come out. I hadn't seen anything online about it yet. And they were retailing for about $199. I think I got this for $199. So for that price, for it coming Cerakoted and getting a Cerakoted pistol made from Ruger, right? I know Ruger makes quality stuff, so for me it was a no-brainer. I picked it up right away. Super excited about it, and I had a lot of fun with it testing out. So I want to go over it, just the basics of it, right? And what I found, how reliable it is, the construction of everything. Let's take a little look. So let's go over the specs of this pistol first. MSRP is putting it at $249, but realistically you can get these for under $200. Right? And this pistol is modeled after the single 6 pistol that Ruger has, and because of that you can have interchangeable and aftermarket products like grips. The Ruger Wrangler will fit any single 6 type of grips. You can replace these grips if you want to, so that's pretty cool. Because it's made after the single 6 frame, any single 6 aftermarket products work. Like I said, you can get single 6 grips. You can also get single 6 holsters. Got something like this for like 20 bucks. It's on Etsy. Some dude in Texas making them. So, let's go through your belt. Just wear it around like you're the king of the castle, right? The single 6 retails for I think over $500. So while they're quality pistols, having this for $199 is a great way for people who don't want to drop $600 on $500 to $600 on a 22 pistol, right? You just want to have some fun. The purpose of 22 plinking is cheap fun, right? So with this pistol, you have a cheaper alternative to that single 6, but you're still getting some quality. The main difference is just the material. This uses a lot of aluminum alloy instead of this pure, the single 6 is all steel, so everything's basically aluminum alloy in this gun except for the cylinder and the barrel, which are both steel. So the hardest working parts on this gun are still a solid steel. So you're still getting that quality in the material with a lighter weight and lighter cost production using that aluminum alloy, which I've seen no issues with. You have a cold hammer forged barrel. It's 4.62 inches with a 1 in 14 twist, and the rear sights are fixed, so you have a fixed front sight with a notch in the rear. I'm just going to align those, and accuracy wise, I've had no issues with this at all. Pretty accurate gun for what it is, and it being a cold hammer forged barrel, it's going to last you a while, and it's a heavy profile barrel if you do look at it, because it's 22. That barrel diameter is pretty small, so you're getting a thick, heavy barrel around it, which is always going to work better for accuracy. Alright, moving back here, we have a trigger. It's an aluminum alloy trigger, and it is about 4.5 pound pull. It's light enough that you can get precision shots off. If you're holding 2 hands, and you want to get a little bit more accurate, you can take those shots. Well, right, it's light enough that you can still work it accurately. Come back to a cool feature on this: you can carry this with 6 rounds loaded, because there is a transfer bar here in the back. So you'll see inside this hammer that this is cut. So when this hammer normally is resting, it's not coming in contact with the firing pin, back of the firing pin, because it's already cut out, so it can't contact that firing pin. When it's fully cocked back, you'll see the transfer bar move up, and when it fires, this hammer actually hits into that transfer bar, which pushes that firing pin forward. So that's how it fires. So you can carry it safely with 6 rounds in there. It's single action only, which means you have to work the hammer back for each shot, right? Pulling the trigger does nothing without that hammer cocked, right? So that hammer has to be cocked for it to fire every single time, which, you know, single action, it's fun. So that's the basics of the pistol. Easy to take down, easy to clean. All you're gonna do is, obviously you're gonna check if it's unloaded, right? And you just spin through there, check that. The cylinder does not slide out to unload or reload. What you're gonna notice you have this loading gate right here, which at first was a little bit stiff, but it's loosened up after using it, and I'd rather it be a little bit stiff at first and then loosen up, as opposed to being loose and then getting looser as you're shooting. So it's a nice little gate, it works well, and looks clean. Alright, so you have here, you have the cylinder retaining pin. You're just gonna just press in here, pull this out, cylinder. Once you open this gate, will come right out. Get the cylinder. This is for a spring-loaded plunger that drives out spent shells. And that's basically it. Right? You're really not taking this down unless you're cleaning it. Back in, that retaining bar goes back in, and make sure it's fully seated correctly. Otherwise, right back in. Cool. If that pin isn't fully inserted, if it's out just slightly, you're not going to have the. That's what pushes the tension back and allows the hammer to fully function. So once back, right? If that pin isn't fully forward or pushed all the way back, you don't have spring tension on that transfer bar, and it just smashes up into the firing pin instead of going past the firing pin like it's supposed to for normal function. Alright, so just make sure, if you ever have that problem, just push it in, make sure it's locked in there, right? And functions perfectly. Cool, cool. So through this guy, I've got close to, if not over 2,000 rounds right now. Did I have any issues with it? For the most part, ran fine. Initially, it was a little bit tough, not tough, but for certain ammo, certain rounds, it was a little bit more difficult to get them in the cylinder when loading. Other rounds were fine. Now that I've used it enough and really got it worn in, I don't have any issues with that anymore at all. The only issue I did have, and I did have an actual issue with this, was the inside the cylinder, inside the frame. Right, if you take out the cylinder, there is a, when you work that hammer, you'll see there is a feed pawl that pushes up, and that actually catches on the cylinder here. So every time you pull that hammer back, it'll rotate the cylinder. So there was no spring tension pushing this out, so it was just laying flat, and it wouldn't catch the cylinder. So when I would cock the gun, the cylinder wouldn't move. And I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on. I finally took that cylinder out and was looking at it, feeling around. Basic deduction, I figured out that the spring tension was gone. So the spring either broke or just became dislodged and wasn't attached. But for whatever reason, the spring wasn't working, right? It was either broken or wasn't there. And I called up Ruger. They instantly sent me an email with a mailing label. Mailed this out straight to them. They paid for everything, and then they had it fixed and turned around within, I think, a week, and I had it back. So that was pretty freaking cool, right? With a revolver, people, I shoot mostly striker fire pistols, Glocks, and with those, if you have any kind of malfunction, stoppage or whatever, it's pretty easy to fix those, right? It's pretty easy to to get the gun back in operation. With a revolver, I didn't really want to take this apart and start messing around with it. A lot of people tout revolvers because they're so reliable, right? But if it does go down, it's a catastrophic go down because you're not going to get it back in operation. You're done. Like that gun's done. Like you got to bring it to a gunsmith, or if you know how to do it yourself, fantastic. Again, I wasn't about to take this thing apart and mess around with it and void any kind of warranties. It's probably not that complicated. I could probably figure it out, but I'm not going to do that, right? So, long story short, did it have an issue? Yes, it did have an issue. But the way Ruger handled it was pretty freaking awesome. They were super helpful, super quick, and turnaround was super fast as well. So, good on them. I talked to them on the phone, and I asked, has anyone else had these kinds of issues? They said no. So, I mean, maybe they have. If you guys are watching this, you've had this pistol, maybe you know someone who's had issues with that. I don't know. I didn't see anything online about that, so I'm thinking maybe it was just isolated to this one gun. Again, not a big deal, and they took care of it pretty damn quick. So, that's pretty cool. So, would I recommend buying this? I mean, first of all, you're getting a Cerakoted gun, which I think looks freaking awesome, right? This burnt bronze, I was like, I need that. That is cool. They also have it in a matte black, which is pretty cool too. If I was going to get another one, I'd probably get the black one as well, so I have two. Or, no, I'd probably get another bronze, and I have a matching pair, so I could just dual wield. So would I recommend this pistol for a purchase? Yes, I would. I think that for the value of what you're getting, again, you're getting a Cerakoted burnt bronze or matte black or silver Ruger quality pistol with Ruger backing it up. That's the coolest part too. And you have a cheap, well-made pistol that you can have a lot of fun with, and it's practical too. I mean, shit, you can just throw this in your backpack if you're going hiking. Because of the safety features on there, you know, I would keep it loaded and put it in a holster, throw it in the truck, keep it in your glove compartment, just throw it in the bag, not an issue. Whatever you want to do. Pretty neat, and for the price point, you could go a little bit cheaper. You can go Heritage Arms. The fit and finish of the Heritage Arms pistols are nowhere near this, and I've shot them before, and I was gonna buy one. And again, they work fine. I have friends who have them, and they've had no issues with them. But for me, for just a little bit more, you can pick up something like this. I figure it's a no-brainer, just because you're getting that Ruger name behind it, plus the quality and the feel. It just feels the heft of the gun. It feels like a real gun. It doesn't feel like a wimpy little 22. It feels like a solid pistol. So, you're getting that quality for this price. You're not paying $600 for a single 6. You can go Ruger, go $600 and go that route. Is that necessary? I don't think so. I mean, if you're dead set on that, you want that all steel quality, go ahead. But I mean, I'm perfectly happy with this gun and the materials I use for it. It's a solid gun. It's a solid gun. So I would definitely recommend it. It's great for plinking, just an all-around practical, affordable pistol that you can have a bunch of fun with. And I think it's a great buy. And if anything does go wrong, which it shouldn't, you have that Ruger maintenance backing it up, and it's all USA made in the US, made in I think it's the New Hampshire. They have a New Hampshire plant. So overall, great value, great gun, and definitely recommend it. A lot of fun. All right, let's get out there, go shoot.